Interviews with business owners and veteran executives who share their wisdom and expertise to help you de-stress, free up time, and make more money. Profits of IT. Welcome back to the Profits of IT podcast. I'm Jim Punzenberger, the creator of the Managed Prospecting System. And today I have with me Dan Barnes, who is a Google superhero, or when it comes to knowing how to get Google to like your website. He is the man. And KD Interactive is his business. I know he's also in Wisconsin, not too far from me myself. So Dan, you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself? Give us 30 seconds on Dan, and
Sure.
Dan, include maybe a snippet of Dan outside of work.
Okay. Perfect. Well, I've been doing this for 26 years. I absolutely love it, and times have completely changed. We were a web development company, application development company, and all that stuff 26 years ago. And today we've transitioned into just doing digital marketing and websites for people, so they get found on Google. So that's kind of our take on stuff. And so we help customers basically show Google exactly what they're made of, and then Google tends to rank them. So
Yeah, so you know all the secrets when it comes to Google.
I definitely know the secrets. Years ago, you used to be able to actually put some keywords on a web page and get found, and you were great, like you were golden. And that is not the case today. Today, you need to prove to Google that you're very trustworthy and that you do business in and around that area.
So
Yep.
you're gonna spend the next 10 minutes or so sharing some secrets with us about Google.
I am.
So, and before we do that, real quick, outside of work, you mentioned to me something about you live on a farm and you have horses.
Oh yeah, we got a bunch of horses, and definitely live on a farm. We got chickens and rabbits, and yeah, just lots of animals. 2 dogs, and yeah, I love living on a farm. My closest neighbor is about a quarter mile away, so he can cut his lawn in the morning, and I'm not going to get woken up. I love that.
Sounds great.
Yeah, so it's a great life. It's nice living in the country, and
I
it's
live
great.
a similar life.
I know all my neighbors, so they're all great people, and yeah, so it's good.
Cool. So, tell us, so if I'm a business owner and I want my business, obviously now the web is very important. Google's very important to probably any business. And
Yes, since they probably do about 85% of the traffic on the internet, so that shows you their share of the market.
So 85% of the traffic on the internet comes from Google. So being
Yes.
in Google's good graces is very important.
Yep, and
So,
YouTube is the second. So those are the two. Those are the two you care about.
Google and YouTube. Got it. So
That's
those are
it.
two. So, um, and if I'm a business owner and I want my website to be on rank on the first page of Google, what can I do to achieve that? What are some of the secrets for doing that?
Well,
Um,
it's a blended strategy. So there's really a couple of areas that we specialize in, and one is basically getting you to tell Google that you're trustworthy in business. We try to also give them the area that you service. So if there's a circle or area that you travel or do business, that's what we focus on. Um, we also focus on reviews, because again, getting third-party reviews from Google or Facebook or Yelp or whatever, that's really important in today's industry. And the other thing is backlinks into your website. That's another important piece, basically allowing people to link into your website from another website. those really are the tenets of what you're trying to do. So,
Okay. So I need to get Google to really know about me and like
yep,
me
yes,
and trust me. And I do that through these getting reviews. So is there
backlinks, yep,
backlinks and then telling Google the geography that I service, whatever that be.
exactly. So basically, what you want to do, and here I'll give you a scenario. So it takes really Google. It takes 90 days for Google to pay attention to anything you're going to do on the internet. So figure you're going to spend a year investing in your business to get Google to start to pay attention to you. And really, that's kind of what it takes. So for the first couple of months, what you basically have to do is you have to blog or tell Google about problems that you're solving for customers. You absolutely need to do that. So if you're an IT company and you go out to a location and the wiring is haywire, I mean, you go to the rack and you see that the wires are everywhere, and it's a crap job. And you look at that. Well, what you want to do is you want to take pictures of that work that you're going to help this customer with. And you take pictures of that because you want to document the problem that you solved.
Hmm.
And then when you're done and you finished and you got the rack all looking nice and pretty, you take a photo of that and then you explain the issues that you had with basically with that customer. And you don't have to reveal who the customer is, but the biggest thing is that you have to basically show that you went to a location. So say it's in Pewaukee or Milwaukee or West Dallas, whatever. You put the location in, you put the identifying blog article together, basically with the headlines of wires, wires with your network went wrong or something like that, or
Uh-huh.
seven ways to make your network work better or something like that. So you're trying to inform Google that you're doing something in the market space. Typically, a blog post needs to be about 1,000 words. So they don't always have to be 1,000, but really Google is looking for an authority figure. So it's looking for location, it's looking for warranty work, it's looking for information that it can give to customers that are typing in problems or using Siri, voice activated problem solving. It's looking for ways in. It's looking for problems to solve. So what Google does in their infinite wisdom, it goes out and it says, oh, hey, we've got a new article, a blog post. We're going to give it a #1 ranking for 10 days and see how it does. And if it gets good traction and it gets good things, now all of a sudden that blog post will stay there for a period of time. And we've done that with many people. We had a guy recently that had a blog post about he did roofing and siding, but he did wall coverings or a wall spray on something that he did for a back of a building. And
Uh-huh.
we got him listed um, within 10 days. And he's been #1 in that position for over 2 years. So, and basically that's what we did. We informed Google where he did the location, what he did, the warranty that product offered, everything out there. And that's kind of what Google is looking for.
And so you do all that in your article, like in your blog post? Is
Yeah.
that
So basically, what we typically do is we'll help the customer write the blog post. They don't have to think about it. So what they do is they give us the information to say, hey Dan, we were out. Here's some photos. This is a problem that we solved. Then what we typically do is give it to our writers, and they come back with the content. They write the content. They give it to the poster. They say basically we give it to the person that maybe wrote the article. We give it back to the owner of the article. We have them proof it, make sure everything's right, and then they just check off a box and say, yep, it's good to go. or hey, make these edits, and then it's good to go. And then we post it. And that's really how the blog articles go. And then the next phase is you want to basically go back and get customer reviews. So so what we typically will tell people is you want to get a lot of reviews, and they could be past jobs, or they can be current jobs. They don't necessarily have to be done today. Like you could have done a job 6 months ago, and maybe now you're just reaching out to that customer to say, hey, would you mind giving us a review? And the reason you want those reviews is you want a third-party verification on Google or Facebook or Yelp or something like that, linking back to your website. And that gives you authority from a third party. And you want that, you crave that. And so it's really, really important that you get reviews coming from a third party back to your website. And it's sometimes you might have to give customers a $25 gift card to Starbucks, or your maybe $10 off your next, you come in, you want your next job. But the big thing is you want that review.
So reviews are
Reviews are
gold.
critical, right? They're absolutely critical. Now, every company is different, because not every company does. It's not like I'm going to go to a dentist and a dentist is going to have 500 reviews. You're not always going to have 500 reviews. Sometimes you might only touch 5 customers in a month. So the big thing is you need to get those. Maybe you only get 2 of those 5 to write a review about you, but those 2 will add up. So the biggest thing you have to do is you have to get reviews from a third party linking back to your website. And what that does, typically it tells Google, hey, this guy's got something going on. This guy is trustworthy.
Yeah. So am I like competing with my competitors then with reviews? So like
absolutely.
if
you're on a map pack, so the map pack is where you get showed up on a location listing, and if your customer, if you only have 2 reviews and your customer has 100, more than likely that customer is going to be above you. Yes.
So so if my competitor has 10 reviews, I better have 15.
Yes. That's the thing. You need to always strive to get reviews about your business. You want to make your customers extremely happy in everything you do. In today's world, you have it. The biggest thing is you want to show 4-star reviews. Anything above 4 stars is great. That's ultimately your goal. And to get those reviews out there, that's really important, because again, it's allowing Google to link back to your website. So we run through one of our products that we use, we have a service that actually allows those reviews to be shown on your website. So now Google's linking back into your website. How cool is that? And you're linking out to Google. You're linking out to those reviews, so people can click on it and see all your reviews. So that's really important, and that shows you're trustworthy in Google's eyes. So
what if I have a bad review? What should I do then?
You just try to stack the deck. You try to get more good reviews. You're ultimately going to have a bad review. We actually have a bad review. In fact, it was the first review we ever got. They weren't even a customer of ours, but it was another SEO company that did it, and they're in Madison. I'm not going to reveal the name who did it, but they went out there, and I sent one of their clients. I sent them a report, and I said, this customer, I said, your SEO company is not doing their job. So they took it upon themselves to write a bad review for us. And you'll see our response. You can go to our website and you can click on reviews and you can see our response. But you can also see that customer made up a fictitious review. Like that customer doesn't, that reviewer doesn't exist.
So, so if you want to see, somebody wants to see what we're talking about, your website is kdinteractive.com. Is that correct?
Yep. And then just go to the reviews, And you can see on the Google reviews, you can see that actual listing and the things we've done since then to actually get our customers to review us. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So, or I guess that's not cool that somebody writes fictitious reviews, but I suppose anybody can write
Well,
a review. And
right. And well, see, the thing is you want to overcome that. So you have to, it's a good, I think it's a good learning example of exactly what you're going to do. You're going to see the one bad listing that we had, but then you're going to see a couple of good ones that we got to offset that one. So that's that's what you have to do. You have to prove to people that you're doing those things. And that's ultimately what's going to get you good reviews. So
got it.
then the next step would be writing blog posts and listing them on other people's websites that have a higher domain authority than you and have a lot more traffic than you. And those blog sites link back to you. So those are kind of like reviews as well, but they're blog posts. So we write blog posts that over 1,000 words, include images, include locations, that kind of stuff. And we'll put them on other people's websites and then link back to your website. And what that does, it gains authority with Google, just like reviews do. And you need those backlinks in order to have Google say, hey, something's going on here. This guy must be authoritative because he's got authoritative websites with a higher domain authority linking back to your website.
So, what's one example of an authoritative website where you
Oh,
could that you
yeah.
put a blog post on?
Well, obviously Wikipedia is a very good website. Education websites. So if you can get a university to write a story about you on a newsletter or something like that, those are very, very powerful because um, uh, education has a higher domain authority than other websites. So what we typically do is we look for a website that might in your space. So we'll look for so if you're in the IT space, we look for authoritative websites with an IT bent that would link back to you. And those might have a higher authority. So maybe a domain authority of a good website would be like 60, 70, 80, 90%, and your domain authority is maybe 10 or 15. When you get those authoritative websites to link back to you, that's ultimately exactly what we want. We want those websites linking back into you with a blog post telling people what you do or how you do it. And that's ultimately what you want to do.
Okay, so this SEO thing sounds like it's really a matter of creating a bunch of content
Yes.
and putting it out there.
You
It
have to
sounds
prove to Google that you're trustworthy, that you have customers that care about you, and you need to put pictures and locations of where you're doing your work. That gives you the geography. So if you're in southeastern Wisconsin, you definitely want to take pictures of all your jobs, whether you're a roofer, whether you're in IT. It doesn't matter what kind of business you're in, HVAC. It doesn't matter. You need to gain Google's trust, and the way you do that is proving where you're working, where the jobs are.
got it. And I'm a business owner, is there one thing that I could do myself that would, um, if I leave if I'm watching right now and I just want to do something to improve my SEO, improve my rank with Google, do you have like one tip of something that I could do as a
Absolutely.
business owner to help with that?
Absolutely. Here's what I want everybody to do. Set up a process that you ask customers for reviews. set up a page that says your domain name / write a review, send them customers to your web page. On that page, you have links to Google, Yelp, and Facebook, or whatever, whatever mediums that you want to use, and link them to that so they can write a review for you. Come up with a process to ask for reviews. That is probably my number one tip.
All right, so go out there and start getting those reviews.
Absolutely. Yeah. The biggest
And
thing you can do for yourself and for your business is to get customers to write a review. And definitely you want to get the right time. You want to get a customer when they're extremely happy with you. That's, and basically say, hey, would you mind taking, a minute or two, write a review for me and put it on Google. I'll send you a $25 gift certificate to Starbucks or to a restaurant or to Culver's or something that is going to get them, excite them to do it for you. Because as business owners, we tend to get busy. And for me to write a review, it's going to take something compelling. You're going to have to do a really good job for me to write a review for you.
got it. So those reviews are gold.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. If you get a 5-star review, and you get 5 or 6 or 10 of them, that is gold. And if you get in the habit of asking people over time, what's going to tend to happen is you're not going to have a big pause in, oh, it's been 6 months, oh, it's been a year, or it's been 5 years. The big thing is you get in the process of asking people for reviews, then it's a big process, but you get in the habit of asking, and then that's when the reviews really start to come. So
got it. So I'm going to start asking for reviews. And
absolutely ask for reviews.
And then I suppose also I could use those other places too. So if I have brochures or other
Marketing,
sales sheets, any marketing materials, I can take those reviews and use those on those
absolutely.
on that collateral also.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. You definitely want to do that, and you want to leverage it on your website too. So if you can find a way, there's apps out there that you can include reviews with. You can contact me. I definitely will help anybody. It really doesn't matter. The big thing is we just, you want to get found, and the only way to do that is to get found on YouTube and to get found on Google. So.
Got it. So get those reviews and do blog posts. And then you mentioned something about backlinks. Can you give me like the 2-minute skinny on backlinks?
Backlinks are like blog articles, or they're just like reviews. So they come from that domain that I talked about, a higher domain authority, and the backlinks link back to your website. Acts just like a review. It's basically a third party giving you credit for something you've written or a problem that you've solved for a customer. And that is very powerful. And coming from a third party with a higher domain authority, and coming from somebody that might be getting 10,000 people a month or 50,000 people a month from their website, now all of a sudden you're going to gain a lot of authority from that customer. And so that's ultimately what you're looking for. And so if you write a blog post and it gets featured on a big IT company, and they get 50,000 people a month on their website, and now all of a sudden they're linking to you, that's very authoritative, because you might only have a couple hundred people a month coming to your website. And that's the thing. So I'm going to tell you a quick story, if you don't mind.
Sure, please.
So the big thing is I had an IT company that had a website for years, and they were getting zero traffic. They were getting like 10 people a month looking at their website. And so I talked to him, and I basically said, let me help you. Let me do what we do. Give me 4 months or 5 months of us doing our work together. And I'm going to get you, I'll increase your keywords on your website from, I think they had like 15 or 20 keywords on their website. and I will get your impressions up. So the number of times Google serves up your page, I will get your keywords up so that Google shows more keywords for your website, and I'll get your traffic up, and I'll do it in basically 120 days. That's what I told them. And within that time period, they went from 10 people a month to getting over 200 people a month to their website each and every month. Now, those are unique visitors. Those are new customers that you have the potential to lead. You're going to get about 2% of that. But the big thing is that's what you want to do. You want to increase your keywords and your customers coming to your website. And we did that over a 4 or 5 month period. The biggest thing is all of a sudden he's like, oh my God, Dan, I can't believe that I'm getting customers engaging me on the topics that I want, and getting him found. So we asked him who that perfect customer was. He told me he wanted customers that basically had 50 seats, they basically, 50 people in the offices. He wanted to grow his market share in the Chicago market. And we ended up getting him that kind of business. That's ultimately what you want to do. And it does take time. But if over time you're showing impressions increasing, that Google is serving up those pages better, and you're showing the keyword increases, all of those things are an investment. And over time, Google starts to trust you and will start to show that you're doing work in and around a geographic area, and it'll start to serve you up. And after about a year, 2 years, you're going to start to see a major increase of shift. You're going to get leads from your website, which you don't get today. So here's my question to business owners. Do you know how many phone calls you're getting from your website? Do you know how many contact submissions you're getting from your website? If you cannot answer those, you need to call me.
Got it.
Because those are easy and they're solvable. Like, I can put an app on a website for somebody right now today for probably $100. I could put it, and they'll know exactly how many phone calls they'll get and how many contact submissions they'll get off their website. Now, the cool thing is that's just giving you the tool to measure something, but it's a measurement.
And then
and then that, oh, crap, I'm not getting any phone calls from my website. Well, that's a problem, but it's solvable. It's all you're doing is you're putting something in place that you can test and measure. If you can't test and measure it, then if you're not, for most people, they might have Google Analytics on their website, but they're not looking at it. So here's my thing. I can set it up so that you get a report each and every month of how many calls you're getting from your website and how many contact submissions you're getting from your website. And then you can say, Dan, I'm not getting any calls. Well, then that gives us the ability to say, okay, so now do we want to do something about it? Do you want calls? Do you want business that you're looking for? That's ultimately what you want to be able to do. So.
Got it. So we need to be able to measure if our website is providing new business or not.
Yeah, absolutely. And
it's the opportunity for new business.
Yeah, and if you're not getting that answer today, I can solve that for you for $100. Basically, it costs more. It costs more than that, but that's my offer to you. If you want this today, I'll give it to your viewers for $100.
Wow, that sounds something like it could be very valuable.
Yes.
And to get a hold of you, they should go to your website, kdinteractive.com.
Yep, they can go to kdinteractive.com. They can click a consultation. They can pick their time when they have 15 or 20 minutes. We can do a deeper dive into their business. We typically, you know, ask a bunch of questions at that meeting, you know, to find out exactly who their perfect customer is, their target market, that kind of stuff. But that really sets the stage for us to be able to help them and
Cool.
give them a business analysis. And then from there, we can come back and say, okay, you're only getting 10 people a month on your website. You know, that's not enough. Or, hey, okay, you've got good traffic on your website. How can we do better? So that ultimately, that's what we try to, we look at all those things, and we use different tools to do that.
Got it. And so, if nothing else, the takeaway from today should be go out and get some reviews and
Absolutely. Number
create
one.
a process to ask for reviews. Get those reviews.
Absolutely. Get those reviews. So.
All right. Well, thank you. That's really interesting and informative. I myself am going to go out today and try to get some reviews.
There you go. See?
And then hopefully that'll help with my my ranking in Google.
All right. Well, perfect.
Well, thank you, Dan.
Yep.
And until next time on the Prophets of IT, bye for now.
Thank you for tuning in to the Prophets of IT. Please smash that like button, subscribe, and share.